Welcome back, guys. So, in this session, we will see how we can scroll into an element or how we can scroll into a particular text on the screen. So, let's talk about a registration screen. Okay, so let's say where you want to create an account by providing all your details. Okay, so there maybe in that screen only four or five items or the elements that are visible, but the rest elements are at the bottom of the screen. So when you scroll up, you can see the bottom items, right? So for that reason we might need to scroll down. And another peculiar with most of the applications, even in browser I have seen the same what do you call observation, where until unless a particular item is not visible, you cannot perform certain action. Okay, so let's say on the registration screen you have a submit button at the bottom of the screen. So until unless you navigate or you scroll to that particular submit button, you cannot click on that. So let's say on the first screen you have first name, last name, email address and phone number, and the submit button is at bottom. So these four items you entered a particular details, and then if you perform submit dot click, it will throw you no such element exception because that is not visible at that moment on that particular screen. You have to scroll down. So this means that you have to scroll down to that particular element to perform that action. Okay, so the same case with the contacts. So let's say you have 30 to 40 contacts are there, and you want a particular contact to add or edit or an update. So for that reason you need to go at the bottom of the screen. Okay, else it is not identifiable. So in those scenarios we need to what do you call we need to find a different way or a solution to scroll down. So for this reason what we can do, we will write a different we will create another class where we will keep all our what do you call common methods like this: scrolling down, scroll up, all these things, and then we can call whenever it is required. So that is what we are going to see today. Okay, so for that reason so we can use touch actions class. So touch action is a class which is provided by appium, and that has few gestures like you can scroll up and down with respect to the coordinates. These coordinates are not fixed coordinates, so you need not to worry about that. Irrespective of what is that screen size, we can calculate dynamically at that moment and then scroll. Okay, so that is what we are going to see. So let's start from the basic and then we will see different usage of that. And whatever we are going to we will see here, that is applicable for both Android and iOS applications. Okay, so you need not to worry about that. So at this moment for kind of an example, I'm going to use the Android phone app which we are using from past one or two sessions. So the same application I'm going to use here. So let's go to the contacts. So you can see here few of the contacts that I have added manually just to what do you call just to understand the scrolling functionality in appium. Okay, so as you can see, if you let's say that if I want to click on this Jevra contact, now for this what I need to do, if at this moment if I say that Jevra dot click, it will throw me error because no such element exception. The reason being, as I told, until unless this is not visible at the screen, you cannot click on that. So that is one of the peculiar behavior of mobile applications. Okay, in case of iOS, you can get the entire list. Okay, so it means that if it is an iOS application, Jabra.click, it will work for you. But in some scenarios where for security reasons the developers might block that, and you need to scroll down or you need to make that element visible on the screen, then only you can click on that. So that's why I said the method that we are going to use is applicable for both Android and iOS. Okay, so for the Okay, so first thing first, let me create a common class. So we have this base package, right? At the beginning, we have seen. And oh, one more thing to note, whatever the latest code base is there, that I have already updated into the GitHub, and I will put that GitHub link into the description. You can follow, you can pull down the latest code and you can practice. So at this moment, I'll create a Java class, and let's say that I can give a name as util. Okay, so now let me add this into the git repo, git index basically. So here what I'm going to do, I'll create a method. Okay, and let's say that scroll down, because most of the time what we do, we kind of what you call scroll down only. Down means so it's basically from bottom to up we are scrolling. So for that reason I can say scroll only, just to avoid up and down. Because see here, if I hold here and then go up, then you can see the scrolling is happening at the bottom. Okay, so for that is the reason I'm saying scroll down here. Okay, so now here as I was telling, we need to use the touch actions class. But before to that, let's understand the behavior of a scroll. How exactly the scroll is happening? So here what we so for the scrolling we need a particular position, right, on this mobile screen. So let's say if I'm holding here, okay, now you can see my cursor is here, and I have to kind of what you call press it. So I'm long pressing it, and then you can see I'm moving it towards up and I'm releasing it here. So it means that let's say this point is nothing but 50% of your screen. Now from this 50%, what I'm doing, I'm scrolling up. It means that nearly 20%, let's say that. Then what is happening, the scroll is happening towards bottom of the screen. So that is what we will use. So here is my 50% and here is my 20% of the total height. Okay, even if you want a long press, so what you can do, you can go to the 80% of the screen and you can go to the 20% of the screen, so you can get a full stretch of the scrolling. And that is up to you how you can decide that. Okay, that fixed height. Okay, now for that reason, how can I find a 50% or the 20%, whatever I'm talking, the starting position and the ending position of my what do you call movement of my mouse? Okay, so there first I need to find a dimension. Dimension is nothing but the entire length of that particular screen. So for that, appium provides a dimensions class. So what I can do, create a object of the dimension. Then here what I will do, I will call this app driver, which we are using, which we have already implemented from our last session. So we can use that. So manage dot window dot get size. Okay, now this will give me the entire size of that particular screen. Okay, because as I was telling, we need to find a what do you call a dynamic size, because the screen might differ, right? So let's see what is the problem here. It's telling required. Okay, so okay, so this dimension is from the Selenium class. I mean Selenium package. So that's what I have changed that. And then here, what I will do, as I was telling, we need to start this. We need to have a reference point or the starting reference point. So what I can say is scroll start from where exactly you need to start. Now here what I will do, let me write it and then we will discuss. Now here this dimension, whatever we have what do you call got it, dot, and then we will get the height. But get height will give me the entire height of that screen, but we need exactly the 50% of that screen, so 0.5. As I was telling, that is depending on you guys whether you want to start the position from the 50% or 80%. If 80%, then you can give 0.8, or else 50% is fine. Now the next thing is that scroll end, where exactly you want to end it. So here I can do like this, and here this is 0.2. Okay, now the starting point and the end point is decided. The next thing is that we need to actually implement the scroll functionality. Now for that, as I was telling, touch actions class. I will use that. So touch action, and here I need to perform a touch action. So what I can do, perform, so another bracket, and here I need to app driver dot get driver. That's it. Okay. Now here I will do dot press. Okay, let's see what is this error. So here I need to give point option. Okay, dot, I need to exactly give the point. Okay, now this point, as I was telling, it's a coordinate, right? So let's say this is my 0 0 here. Okay, now here if I'm, so here if you see, I'm going here actually, let's say from here. Okay, now here I'm dragging like this, so it means that my what you call, the x coordinate is 0, because I want to start it from the y coordinate only 50%. Okay, so for that reason what I will do here, 0 comma, and then the scroll start point. Okay, 0 scroll start this. Now here what I need to do, and here see I'm spending some time, right, to move it up, so that is nothing but I will give it as a wait action here. Performs touch action, because I'm not getting few of the, okay, this has to be new touch action actually, that's why I was not getting. And here I'll do import class, and that is from the Java client. Okay, now here I can give press also, yes, press, and then wait action, yes, see, wait action, and here I need to give a wait option dot options, and here I need to give how much wait I need, so that is nothing but you can see duration, and here dot, I can give some seconds. Okay, here you can see up some second means how slowly you want to drag there. So let's say that I want to give as 1 second only. Now the second thing is that now see, now we have pressed on a particular point, and the next thing is that we need to move it to somewhere, right? So that is what we need to do, and then dot, and here move to a point I need to give right there, and the same thing point option I need to give. So let me copy paste here, and then here, and this should be my scroll end. Okay, so where exactly I want to end that. Okay, so that's it, my gesture is here implemented. Now here what I need to do, and I need to release, right, as I was telling, release dot perform, so it will perform that particular action. That's it, so your scroll functionality is done. Okay. Okay, now how do I call it? So let's say that this is Android, right? So under Android test case, I'll create a Java class. Let's say that I will say perform scroll, some name I'm giving as a test case. Okay, let me add this one, and here let me copy paste this particular at the rate test. And as we were discussing in our previous session, that I don't need a before test and after test, because that is already implemented by the test engine listener or the test listener class. Okay, so here what I will do, I'll create a base object, and then here I don't need this one. See, as soon as my app is launching, what I need to do, the app will launch defaultly here, right? Then I need to click on the contacts. Now let's see if I have a contacts tab. Yeah, this contacts tab I need to click it. So contacts tab dot click. Okay, after that what I need to do, I need to scroll down. So here what I can do, I can put this class as this method as static, so that I can directly say util dot scroll down. Okay, so at this moment let's see only one scroll, how this scroll is happening. Okay, so for visibility, what I will do, I'll put it as a 2 seconds, so that you can see the exactly how the scroll is happening. Okay, so my scroll functionality is implemented. Let me run the server, appium server, and then we will run the test case. And by the time appium is launching, what I will do, I'll create another class here, another entry actually, and okay, let me run this server, and here I'll put perform scroll. Okay, and I can disable this one because we have already seen in our previous session how this add contact is happening. Okay, so my appium server is running, app is ready. Let me go back, close the app, and now let me run this particular test case. Okay, so as you can see, it scrolled, and the same scrolling method, whatever the implementation we have done, this is applicable for both Android and iOS. Okay, but there is a thing. So let's say that, I mean, let me open the app again. So this is a basic scroll, as you can see. But like as I was telling, my scenario is not just scrolling, but scroll till this particular item is identifiable, or till this item is visible, so that I can perform certain action. As you can see, this particular list is a list actually. Okay, so let's say the ID is name, so it means that it has multiple items, and you need to scroll through till you get that particular item or the text. That is what we are going to see. For this, what I will do, let me create another method. Let's say public static void, and here I will say scroll till text. Let's say scroll and click, or else let's say scroll and click. This is a method. Okay, now here what we need to do, we need to scroll that particular list till our string is matching. For that, what I will do, see, one thing is that, like, definitely I need to scroll. Now the concept in a manual way, how we will do that. So let's say I'm doing it manually. First I will see, okay, so I will fetch. It means that I will see all the names. So here zebra, let's say that is what my intended string. This is not that. So what I will do, I'll scroll, and I will capture this particular list again, and I will search if the text is matching. No, it is not that. Then I will scroll. Yes, on the third scroll I'm getting zebra, and then I will perform the same thing. We will implement in this also. So what I can do, for, as I was telling, this list, what is the two things I need? One is this list, and then this string. Now here what I can do, I can say web element. This web element is nothing but the total list. Okay, or else what I can do, list items, let's say, and this is list, right? That list, and then the particular string that I'm going to search it. Okay, now here one problem is there. If I take this string, let's say from the test case I am sending name. Name is the ID for all these what you call element names. Now if I send it, it becomes a static, right? Why it is static? Because as I move this down, it should fetch the latest what do you call latest items from there. But if I am directly sending the list, it will always give me this particular view only. Means whatever items are visible, only that much will give me at once, and then it will not go back again into your app, and then refetch all the newly what do you call populated list. For that, what I'm going to do, I'll use a bilocator instead of what do you call the web element. Understand the difference. Element means it's a fixed list only. Whatever you do, it will not refresh that list value, right? That is why I will use a bilocator. Okay, now here let me import the class. Fine. Okay, so these are the two things I need. Now let's do first thing first. What I will do on the base, let me do one thing. I'll create a page, new page, let's say it's a Java class, and I will say contacts page, contacts page. Okay, and let's add this one, and here I'll put a, let me copy paste this one, and here what I will do, I will use that by locator. Okay, now for that what I will do, by underscore names equal to by dot, that should be id. Let me see, I think last time we have identified that one. No, okay, let me quickly identify the list item, and this should be phone app, right? Start session. Okay, so let's go to the contacts, refresh the screen, and then let's identify this one, and I should get an ID. Yes, so here you can see contact name. So here what I will do, this contact space, I'll put this in double quote, this one. Okay, so my by locator is ready. Now here this by locator I will send it to there. Okay, so let me do one more thing. Let's go to the util, and here this by locator I will send and the particular text. Now here what we are going to do, first thing is that I need to put a boolean value, let's say flag equal to false. I'll let you know why I'm doing that. Now here I'll put while true, because I need to continuously fetch that list, right, till I will get my item, so that loop should be continuous one. Okay, and here what I will do, first thing I need to fetch the updated list. So for that what I will do, I'll put a for loop here. So I'll put a for loop here, and this should be my web element of, what is that, so app driver, because I need to identify that particular list, right, dot find element, and that is by locator already, so list items here, right? See, now at this time what will happen, I will get always the updated list, because if I scroll down I'll fetch that the updated list. Okay, and then I'll put a if condition. Once I get that list, that element, and I need to get that attribute, right? What is that attribute? Text. Now here is a catch. If you are using this one for what do you call, for Android, this has to be text. If you are using for iOS, this has to be value. Okay, this get attribute, what you can do, you can use to make this particular method, scroll and click method, as a common for both Android and iOS. You can use this particular feature. We have already discussed that, this platform. Okay, so this platform value means result dot get method get xml test get local parameter dot get platform. If it is Android, you can use what do you call, here you can put a if else condition or a switch statement. If it is Android, this string should be text. If it is iOS, this has to be value. So you can do that on your own. Okay, this is bit pretty simple one, but at this moment let's see about Android only. And here what I will do, so e dot equals or contain whatever it is there, and that particular text which we will be seeing. Why it is not coming? Oh, this has to be capital text. Okay, and here if it is matching, then el dot click. We need to do this one and then come out of the loop. Okay, so here and then break. Now if you see here, this break is for this for loop only. Okay, this for loop only, but what about this while loop? Now for that what I will do, this is where I will use that flag, and flag equal to true. I will assign it, and I will put another condition below to for loop. If flag is true, if flag is true, then I will go out of the loop, out of what you call while loop. Else what I will do, I will scroll down, that one. Okay, now you can see the way. Now let's see if manually whatever we were doing is that implementing here or not. So first thing, I will get the fresh list, if the so let's say on the first time only our text is matching, then what I will do, I'll perform the click and then I will break means come out of the for loop and again out of the while loop, because we don't want to scroll further. But let's say that this list this if condition is not what do you call if condition is not true, then what will happen here, if flag, now flag is what, false, because if condition is not executing means it is still false only, means it will scroll down, and because it is a while true, it will go back again to this for loop only, so that will continue. Okay, so that is what we are implementing here. Let's see if this is working or not. So on our test case, what I will do, after base space dot contacts contact tab dot click, I'll wait for some time, and here what I will do, I will use util dot scroll and click, and sorry, scroll and click. Now here two parameters I need to use. One is my, and here let me create another one also, contact space, cont contact space, new contact space. Okay. Now here I will say cp dot by names, that by locator, and the string, let's say to the extreme down one, that is nothing but zebra. Okay, and I need to click on that, and this scroll is not required. And see how we have made this one as a common method, because this scroll and click we can use at any across the framework. Okay, now let's see if this is working or not. Now let me close this one. Server is running, app is ready. Now let's run this one. And okay, I will do one thing, I'll reduce the delay to make it as 1. And now let's run this test.ng xml. Make sure that you are running every time the test.ng xml only, not the test case itself. Do click on the contacts tab and then it will search. So one time it scrolled, second time, third time it should identify. Now see, zebra is visible on the screen and it is clicking. Okay, and then it will close the app. That's it. So you can see your test case got passed here. So that's how it is there. Now this is the case when you have a list items where a specific what do you call okay, actually the app is closed, but this is just a fragment on top of that. Okay, so this is where we have looked into what do you call, where it is a list item where you want to navigate to a particular text. But there are situations, as I was at the beginning I was talking, where you encounter even to scroll to a particular element. Okay, so now at that moment you don't have a list item, right? Because these are homogeneous, means same type of elements, so that's why we are sending the by locator and we can scroll across that. But let's say on the registration page, registration screen, you have text boxes, you have check boxes, you have radio buttons, and then at the end submit button will be there. Now at that moment you can't capture all those elements and then find it, right? And you don't know what kind of text is written there also, because you can only identify by using the element locator only. Now for that we have to what do you call do another approach where what we have to do, we have to kind of put a try catch block. So for that reason, for that to recreate that scenario, what I'm going to do, let's say this is an element, we are not depending at this moment, oops sorry, we are not depending on this list item because we don't know what kind of elements are there. Okay, directly we want to navigate to this particular element only. Let's say this is a button, I mean let's say this is a submit button. Now I want to click on this submit button, uh, that is zebra button directly. Now I'm not going to do use a list and where no string, nothing, just the direct element only. Now to identify this element we can use this particular so what I will do, let me do this one. So let's say I'm copying this one on the contacts page. I'm creating a find by. and at this moment I'll put this one as a zebra. Okay, and here I will say submit button. Let's say this is as submit button for our understanding. Okay, as an example. Now what happens if I click this submit button? What will happen? So let's say here contacts tab thread dot sleep, and here I'm not scrolling down. Let's say cp dot submit. I think I didn't make it as public. Oh, public only. Okay, cp dot, let's say submit dot click. I mean, let's say that I don't want to scroll and directly I want to click on this. Let's say what is happening. Let's see. So let me run the same test case only. Appium is running, and let me turn on this one. Okay, it didn't start it yet because it should close the app and then open that. Okay, compilation is done. Okay, now it will launch the application. Should click on the contacts button, and I'm clicking on the zebra button. I think the test case failed, which is our expected one. See, now let's see what is the, so it is telling that this particular XPath is not identifiable, which is fair enough because that's what we have discussed, right? Until unless it is not visible, it will not click on that. That is what we are going to fix this problem. Now for this, what we will do, let's navigate to our util class where we are using all the common methods, and here let me create another method, public static void, and here what I'm telling, scroll. So that was scroll click, right? Scroll and click. Let's say that I am making it like this only, the same method only I'm overriding here, but instead of two parameters here, I will only give the element itself only. So same method, and I will directly pass the element itself here. Okay, now depending on whether it is string, then you can use this particular method. If it is only element, you can use this one. Okay, now here what I will do, the same concept only, while true, and because I have to continuously scroll, right, directly I will say el dot click. The same concept, right? See, because sometimes what might happen, if your element is visible on the first attempt only, it will click on that. But if I do this one, I'll get a no such element exception, right? Just now we have seen. So for that, what I will do, I'll put it into a try block here. Okay, el dot click, and here I'll come out of the loop. Okay, because I'm done with that, right? If everything is on the first scenario, first attempt only, I'll come out of this. But if I get the exception, as just now we got, what I need to do, I need to use this exception because I want to specifically capture this particular exception. Okay, and then implement the actual one. Now here I will do scroll down, the same scroll down approach only. Okay, now what will happen, now here only one loop only, right? While loop only. So with one break, I'm done with that. See, there are situations what might happen. Let's say that element is not at all there on that particular screen. Now what it will do, it will go infinitely. The while block will be keep on executing it. Now what you can do, instead of true, you can make a retry attempt. Like you can do like this, int retry 0, just I'm making, and here what you can do, retry, let's say less than equal to 5 something. Okay, a retry is not updated inside loop. Okay, now here what I will do, as soon as I will do a scroll down, I will make retry plus plus. So it means that it will scroll down, retry become 1, and then it will check if so till 5 or because see how many scrolls you need to identify a particular item. It might be 2 scroll, 3 scroll, or 5 scrolls only. So that particular limit you can give there. Okay, depending on that limit, let's say this element is not found, so it will only try for 5 times only, then it will come out of the loop. So that is what we will see. Now let's try to run the same scenario now, but for that I need to change a bit into the test case itself. Where is my perform scroll? Right now here, see util dot this particular, so here util dot scroll click, but item itself I want to do, so cp dot, and I need to go to the submit button. Okay, now let's try to run. Let me stop and start the server again. App is closed. Restart the server. Go to the test.xml and run this test case. Now this time I'm not searching based on the text, but based on the, oops, oh okay, some error came with the simulator. Okay, now it is up. So here I'm not searching, I'm not clicking based on the string, but based on that element. Okay, so it should launch the app. Okay, it launched the app. Should click on the contacts tab. Now see, one scroll, two scroll, and it should do the third one. Yes, and it should find the element and click on that. Yes, and it is closing that. Okay, so here you can see the same thing. Now so there are certain scenarios where if you want to debug it, what you can do, you can just print those items, like here e dot get attribute text I'm printing, right? You can just print that particular text also. This is I'm talking the previous method where you are searching with respect to a text. Okay, now so here, because on the third retries only my element is visible, that's why it is coming. Let's say you have 200 to 300 contacts are there, then you can make this retry attempt to 50 or something, so that it should go into that. But there is a thing, right? If that element is visible, it will not go up to that retry attempts. It might go into the 5 or 10 attempts. It will identify your element. I mean, we are just trying to avoid the what do you call the infinite looping of the while loop. Okay, so that's how you can navigate. You can scroll based on a text or scroll based on the element. Okay, so as I was telling, this is again applicable for both Android and iOS. But what I observed that Android gives us what do you call one more method, an extra method, that is from the UI selector class, where you need not to actually implement this particular concept. You can directly, so Android has that inbuilt capability which will scroll down based on that particular string. Now let me show you that. So let me open the UI selector. So if you see Android UI selector scroll, so here UI scrollable, and under this if you see there is a method that is nothing but scroll into view. See here, scroll into view, and it says perform a scroll forward action to move through the scrollable layout element until an item that matches the selector. It means that so UI scrollable is nothing but your that panel which you can scroll. So that panel, under that, until unless the item is found, it will scroll. So we will use the use of the we will see the usage of a scroll into view, and this has a UI selector, means it has an exact match is there, and also sometimes it has a contains also. So that is what we are going to see. So for that, let's do one thing, and here I'll create another method, public static void, and I will say scroll into view, and here I will put the text, that is the text, and this is only applicable for a text, and you can click also on that. But first let's view into that, and I have prepared the method also here. Let me copy paste this one, and here and here. So this should be text. Okay, and if you see here, this is my exact text, that one. Okay, and here you can see scroll into view and the UI selector. Okay, so this is just a warning, so no problem with that. Okay, now here I will use the same on the on the perform scroll. What I will do, I will use this particular util dot, and this should be scroll into view, and my intended string is zebra, right? Now here, see, I'm not using any user defined methods that just now we have discussed that one. Okay, so let's close this, and then let me run this particular item, particular test case. So here no retry attempts, no element, nothing is required. Just directly you need to just give the string only. Oops. Okay. Yeah. So compilation is done. Now it should invoke the application. Okay. So it launched the application. Then it should click on the contacts. So now see, it is continuously scrolling because I did not give any scroll down method here. Now it is identifying the zebra, and it should click on that. Yes. Okay. So that's how, and then it should close that app. Fine. So that's how the what you call scroll into view method, and this is an inbuilt method of the what you call Android. If it is Android, because Android driver I'm using, right? So here you can see find element by UI Automator and new UI scrollable, and this UI scrollable is nothing but this one. So this panel actually. So here if I open the app and contacts, so this is nothing but my UI scrollable view actually. Under this view, based on this text, whatever the text I am putting here, that is nothing but I'm sending as a parameter, right? Based on that, it is scrolling and then click. If you don't want to click, just want to scroll, you can remove this click method. Okay, so these are the different ways. So we have seen three approaches. One is based on the text on that list, it will scroll, that is our user defined. And another one is the Android based, where it is only applicable for Android. And the third thing is that if it is a particular element is there. Okay, so that's so these are the ways to scroll. There are few what do you call few scenarios where you want to particularly fetch the items. Let's say you want to fetch the complete list of items, and you are continuously scrolling. There is no matching, nothing. Just you want to fetch the complete list of list items. Now what you can do, you can use this scroll down approach, but fetching the item is bit tricky. Why? Because I'll show you that. See, let's say from ABCD to Catalan you fetched at the first instance. Now you are scrolling, let's say you scrolled only this much, and you are fetching the refreshed list based on this, we have seen that, right? Based on this find elements. But if you see here, these four items again repeating on that list. Okay, Now how do you know that? So till the end of that, what do you call, end of the screen. Now here, how do you know what is your end of the screen? You don't know, right, that one. So if it is unique, what you can do, you can use a set instead of list, so that you won't get these duplications whenever you are scrolling, because you don't know how much scroll I need so that the catalog item should go and I get a fresh list. Okay, for that reason you can use set. And another what do you call, obstacle is that you want to find it out the end of your screen, so that where you will stop that. One option, you can put the retry attempts like we have seen here. Else what I can do, some scenarios you don't know what is the limit you want to set it, because your list could be finishing with the two scrolls, or sometimes it might go to a 500 depending on the huge data. What you can do, one approach as an assignment you can take. So you will first fetch the first list or first attempt, and you want to capture the last item text, let's say catalog. You will keep it into a variable. Then what you will do, you will scroll it, again fetch the list and get the last item, and compare this item with your first scroll's last item, string. So catalog was the what do you call, last item on your first scroll, right? Now in this scroll you get tutorial. Now you will compare these two. Now if it is not matching, it means that there is still some scroll is there. Let's say you reached at the end and you got zebra is your last item, and you are scrolling still. See, it is still allowing you to scroll, but on the fresh list the last item is zebra only, means it is matching. So what you can do, you can get you can use a last item, so previous last item, current last item. You can get you can use two strings, and in the while loop you will say that while the uh, previous last item equal to not equal to current last item, you keep on scrolling, but wherever it is matching, your while loop become false, and then it will come out of the loop. That's all, and it is an assignment. You can do it on your own. So instead of retry, you can use that particular condition which I just spoke. Okay, so if you are getting any doubt or any issues, you can just put into the comments and then we can discuss further. Okay, so that's all about scrolling functionality in IPM for both Android and iOS. Hope this session is helpful. Keep sharing, and thanks for watching.